Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have the Lost Treasures of Egypt, or yeah, Lost Treasures of Egypt. I thought it was maybe more specific for some reason at the last second. Okay, brain back inside the head now. Okay, yeah, this is a docu-series, obviously from National Geographic. It is from 2019. Each of the episodes are about 45 minutes long or so, and yeah, it's exactly what it says. It explores, it follows a number of teams in Egypt, Egyptologists who explore formerly hidden, lost tombs or tombs that have been found and excavated for well over 100 years, but they keep finding new things. In fact, it's been so long since I think Howard Carter, ever since Carter had originally exhumed, say, the Tutankhamun uh, uh, tomb, the boy king, as they called him. Ever since he first excavated that, there's actually been some pieces missing that they have pictures of, and they're like, well, whatever happened to that? They're discovering things. They're digging up things that have already been dug up that are have been lost since they were found. I know it's confusing, but that's what they're dealing with here. Uh, we're dealing with 4,000-year-old mummies and treasure rooms filled with golden boats and sarcophagi, and a number of other things that are beyond our comprehension and value. And yeah, it's it's these people are really excited about the things they find here. I mean, this is only I think it's only 6 episodes. Yeah, 6 episodes. They hit Tutankhamun's. They revisit that. They revisit Tutankhamun's um, tomb. There's a future episodes deal with Cleopatra and just dealing with grave robbers and things like that. One of the biggest mysteries in the first one is the fact that how in the world that did it after all these centuries did Tutankhamun's tomb never be discovered and ransacked like all the others. There's tons of tombs and places all around where Tutankhamun was buried that are empty of treasure. And it's not like it was only, you know, tomb raided in the last 100 or 200 years. It's been going on for centuries. If people realize that, hey, they buried somebody important here a long time ago, even if it's maybe 100 years ago, you know what? Let's go just disturb that grave and see what happens and get rich. And that's what people have been doing for centuries. The idea of finding Tutankhamun at that time, over 100 years ago, and finding treasure along with a mummified body, it was a huge surprise to many, and that's why it's such a big deal. They talk about how the fact that he is the boy king. He was 9 years old when he became king, and he died when he was 19. He was a fairly minor ruler. Finally, a fairly minor pharaoh. He was a pharaoh, yeah. In in the time that he was around for like 10 years of in power. And he died of, I think it's malaria or something like that. He just died uh, very young, and compared to other more important kings, yeah, their tombs up in the up in Gaza and the pyramids and everything else, they were they've been stripped a long time ago. A lot of them have, not maybe not all of them, and they're still finding more here and there. I mean, there was a time in which they built pyramids in order to entomb their leaders, their rulers, so that they can uh, come back from the dead with all their riches and soar the skies in boats. And that's how it worked. And I think they realized after a while, like, hey, this is a humongous grave marker that people just keep ripping off. Let's hide these things down in the Valley of Kings, down in Luxor and everything else, just those areas, and maybe they won't be so easily found. Well, they were found, except for a few. Well, and they go through the imaging and all the drones and other stuff, all the technology today they use to determine why Tutankhamun was undisturbed all this time. So that's one of the cool things they do in this thing, in this episode, in that one episode that I watched. And they also have some pretty cool animations that some 3D stuff that models, how all the chambers lay out. That's how they spider underground for the most part in various tunnels throughout the desert. And you kind of wonder, people say this is a beautiful area, and it is. It's gorgeous vistas and everything else. But I'm thinking, I hope it was a whole lot greener a couple thousand years ago, which I imagine it was. But it doesn't seem like a great place to rule and, have a summer home. That's certainly not the case, at least what I'm seeing from today. So yeah, maybe there was a whole lot more green back then, and it was a glorious, luxurious place. Worth hanging out in, worth ruling over. Climate changes. Anyway, there's a lot to learn here. There's a lot of people who are excited, international groups of people from around the world, not just locals, but digging and discovering. And if this is your kind of thing, obviously, this is something you want to check out. Again, 6 episodes, about 45 minutes each, and it follows not just one guy or 2 guys or a gal. It's literally a bunch of different groups from all over the area, and you get to experience their discoveries, their disappointments, their trials, and everything else as it happens. Yes, the music and the editing all make it much more dramatic than it probably is, because they don't bother showing all the really boring tick 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 tick, just forever digging, forever grinding away, which is a whole lot more. If you have a cop show, there's not a whole lot of episodes that just involve cops sitting alone in their car doing nothing. There's always a police chase or a gunfight or something. It's a bit more exciting, and so that's what you get here. The exciting parts of archaeology, where discovery and exploration are key. And so yeah, it's your kind of thing. I can't imagine myself watching more of this. I mean, there's so much Egypt stuff on Disney Plus, and I've seen my share of it, and there's a lot more to come, I think. But yeah, it's if this is your kind of thing, I do love history, and I think if I got the urge, I think I would probably dig into this a little bit further. Pardon the pun. But it didn't grab me the way other things have. So yeah, it's I'm not gonna say it's, oh my god, it's the greatest thing, you got to see it. But if this is your thing, it's worth checking out, and it's fairly recent. It was from 2019, so I don't know if it's going to get a second season. Probably a second season got squashed after all of everything we've gone through since 2019. But yeah, check it out if that's your thing. I'll say that way too many times. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
458.
Wow, we're going up by the hundreds. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 8. What do we got here? 4, 5, 8. 4, 5, 8. Oh, okay. This is a series. I think this is fairly new. I think this is a new edition. Let me check. No, maybe not. I usually have a marker that tells me if it's something that was added in the last quarter or so. Well, here we go. It's a series. I think it's a story rather than live action or reality or whatever. So let's check this out. Secrets of Sulphur Springs. It sounds like it would be something with cars, but it is not. I'm pretty sure that's Radiator Springs. So Secrets of Sulphur Springs, we'll watch the first episode or 2, and I'll see how it goes. We'll come back here tomorrow with Secrets of Sulphur Springs and the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. See you then.